What's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be playing at my favorite casino in San Diego. This place has the best action and the nicest community. So if you're ever checking out San Diego, I highly recommend that you come visit 7 Mile. The first notable hand I pick up is Ace 5 offsuit in the small blind. There's a $10 straddle and it folds to me on the small blind and I make it 35. The big blind and under the gun straddler makes the call and we go to a flop of 2, 3, 9 rainbow. I start off with the check, the big blind checks, and the under the gun checks as well. The turn brings another deuce. I think both players are capped here, besides the big blind, so I lead out for $60. The big blind folds, which is great news. But now the under the gun player raises to 180. My immediate thought is that this guy's full of shit. He is just calling with any pair, and he's only raising with a deuce, and I don't think there's a lot of deuces in anyone's range, besides ace 2 suited, stuff like that. But anyways, I make sure of that, and I raise to 450, and he just folds. There's a hand I played recently. Um, Basically what happened was on the what was it? Like low jack or something, makes it $20. Call. I'm in the big blind with ace king off. I make it 120. Original person who made it 20 folds. The second caller makes the call and the other guy folds. So we go heads up and there's like what is it? 260 in the middle. 260 and the flop is Jack 9 6, two hearts. I bet out 80 to just fold out his bullshit. And then he thinks about it for like 20 seconds and then he jams 500. I think about it and think about it. I have a heart, so I was like, damn, like, okay, it makes no sense because I'm out of position. If he like actually had a real hand, like let's say like sixes or like I don't know, some like weird hand, he would just call, right? I was like, why would he jam? Like, it's like I'm smelling hearts, and like I'm talking out loud. I was like, oh, do you have hearts, bro? Like, I really think you have hearts. He's like, no, I don't have a heart. I was like, okay, I believe you, and just snap fold. And then I like 20 seconds later, I asked him again. I was like, did you really have hearts? I was like, and he's like, no. Like, he's like, I had ace jack. I was like, oh, that makes sense. So I lost that. Unlucky. Okay, so those last two hands I played were a 5-5 game. I moved down to the 2-3 game, which is better in my opinion. This next hand, I pick up ace 10 of spades in the middle position. There's two limpers, and I make it $20. Button calls, big blind calls, and the two limpers call, and we go 5 ways to the flop of ace 6 7 rainbow. The big blind checks, under the gun plus one checks, and now the guy to my right donks for 40. I call, button folds, the big blind calls, and the under the gun plus one player also calls. So we go 4 ways to the turn where it peels the 8 of hearts. Action checks to me. I decide to check as well. And now the river pairs the 7. And action checks to the flop donker who goes all in for $63. I make the call. The big blind makes the call, and the under the gun plus one also makes the call. So it turns out the person who went all in had queens, the small blind had ace jack, and under the gun plus one had a 7. So I actually just don't know what the fuck everyone is doing. I'm extremely embarrassed by the way I played this hand, but I'm also just here to show you guys my mistakes and just how soft the game is at 7 Mile. I look at king 10 of spades in the early position. I make it 15, and only the button makes the call. So we go to a flop of 2, 4, 7, rainbow. No one should really connect with this board, so I lead out for 15, but he makes the call. The turn is the 9 of spades, so we pick up a flush draw, and he probably has a middling pair or a 7, so I bet out $60 for pressure, but he withstands and makes the call. Now the river brings the ace of spades, which gives me the nuts, but even though I have the nuts, I'm still targeting his middling pairs. I would bet somewhere around 80 to 100, trying to get a call from those middling pairs, which is his range that I put him on. But I've played with this player before, and he likes to be a hero. So I decided to nearly pot it and go 160. Turns out I was completely wrong, and he snap calls with ace queen. He floated the flop and somehow called the turn and binked top pair on the river. So if you're a GTO wizard, I really don't blame if you stopped watching the video. This hand, I look down at 2 red aces, and there are 2 limpers to me, and I make it 25. An OMC to my left makes the call, and so do the 2 limpers. 4 ways to the flop of ace, 5, 3, 2 clubs. The 2 limpers checks to me, and I bet 35, targeting flush draws and the last ace. The OMC to my left is the only person that makes the call, and the turn brings in the flush, the 10 of clubs. I check to him, and he bets out 60. I make the call, and the river is a brick, the 6 of hearts, and now he jams for 160. Okay, let's break this down. When an OMC calls a big open, it narrows his range to strong pairs, suited broadways, and ace-king and ace-queen. When he calls the flop, it's either a set of 5s, Broadway with clubs, or ace-king. I genuinely do not think this player is capable of putting all of his chips with ace-king or ace-queen, so the only hand that I'm really beating here are a set of 5s, which makes my decision easy, but really painful. I lay it down and ask him to show for the vlog, and he was kind enough to flip over king-queen of clubs. Okay, I forgot to press record, but we looked down at pocket queens. There was a limp, a raise to 12, and I 3-bet to 40. The button cold calls, limper folds, and the original raiser makes the call. So we go 3 ways to a flop of jack, 10, 4, all spades. Checks to me, and I bet out for 50. The button folds, and now the player to my right makes the call. The turn is the 7 of diamonds. He checks, and I go 125. I go small here to induce a raise if he was trapping with a flush, as well as get value from any non-believing ace-jack or any flush draws. But he makes the call, and the river is the king of diamonds. This might seem like a scare card as it's a card higher than my queen, but there's almost no king X that he gets to this board, besides king jack. So when he checks, I value bet for 250, but I get snap called. He had ace queen for Broadway, and he had the ace of spades, so it makes sense, but this one sucked because I was up around 300 the entire night, and this put me into the red. But the very next hand, we look down at king queen of hearts. There's a $6 straddle, and I open to 20, cutoff calls as well as the straddler, and the flop comes out the miracle 10, 5, 6, all hearts. We flop a flush, and the straddler checks, and I bet out for 20. Late position folds, and the straddler makes the call. The turn is the 9 of spades, and surprisingly he donks for a small size of 20. But since I'm tilted and I want to play for stacks, I raise it up to 100, and he makes the call. The river is now a brick 4 of diamonds, and he leads out for 200. I fake tank for about 30 seconds-ish, and announce all in for 390. And he makes the call with 9-4 for 2 pair. We are currently at around $1,200, and my advice is that when you play here at 7 Mile, or just at any casino, is to never limp. If you're going to limp, that means you should just be folding that hand regardless. And also to overfold, because people are just not good enough to triple barrel as well as bluff for a big size. Unless the player shows that they're capable of, you usually just want to be overfolding. There's another big hand that I forgot to film. Basically what happened was I had king, queen of spades. There's a straddle on the button. I make it 20, early position. Guy to my left calls. And then everyone folds. We go heads up. Flop is jack, jack 9, 2 clubs. I check, he checks. Turn gives me the straight. It's jack, jack 9, 10, 2 clubs. I have king, queen of spades. I lead for 20. He min clicks it to 40. He has like 300 something behind. I re-raise him to 120 because I'm out of position. He calls. River's like a complete brick. I jam for like 2 something, and then he snaps it off with ace jack. I mean, it's just a cooler, but yeah, that hand brought me back. Last hand of the night, I look down at ace king in the small blind, and middle position opens to 25. This is a huge open because there's no straddlers or limps in this hand, so when he opens with the size, it's just screaming strength. I'm in the small blind, and I have ace king, so I just make it 100, and he quickly makes the call. Flop is 8, 6, 7, 2 clubs, and I c bet 80 to get rid of his bullshit, like suited broadways, but he ends up making the call. He probably has a hand like 9s, 10s, jacks. So when the turn brings me the miracle ace of spades, I decide to get sneaky and check, and he quickly checks it back. The river is a brick 5 of diamonds, and I bet out for 180, and he makes the call. We call it a night, and we profit out $700. Wraps up my session. I think I played pretty good. That last hand with the ace king, I'm not sure if I would have got paid if I had jammed the river. I think I could have and maybe should have, like targeting the top of his range, like maybe like ace queen suited. But I was trying to target his like jacks, queens, 10s that were kind of like non-believing because I checked back the turn. I don't know if checking the turn is a mistake or not. I was trying to sell the story that I had like jacks, queens, kings, something like that. And then I wanted to see on the turn if he would jam with ace queen. But that also doesn't make sense because then I'm telling the story of me having jacks, queens, kings, and then his jam wouldn't like get paid enough often. So like checking back makes sense from him if he has ace queen. So like, oh god, I really don't know. He's like a thinking player because I don't know, I just know he is by the way he plays. So I don't think he thinks that I'm 3-betting with like king queen suited, like king jack suited, like stuff like that, because he opened 25. That's crazy in a 2-3 game. Like standard opens like 15, sometimes you can go 20, but he just straight up flat out opened 25. My hand's too strong just to flat. So no, but overall great session. I think I played solid. I don't remember any hands I played terribly. There's definitely like a couple out there, but yeah, good session. Come to 7 Mile if you're in San Diego. This is like by far the best casino in San Diego. What else? Oh yeah, heads up, the wait list is egregious. It's terrible, but the action's great and it's worth it. Come to 7 Mile. So just a recommendation from me. But overall, yeah, I'm happy the way I played. I'm glad I got great hands. It's good to be vlogging back again. Okay, peace.